Good afternoon, everyone. It's Willerzilla, and welcome back to the channel. And today, we're going to be discussing the first severe weather outbreak of the season that's stretching over a period of days and a major snowstorm heading for the Rockies. Before I do get started with the video, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do enjoy the weather-related content that I do provide for you guys. Make sure to turn on those notification bell icons to never miss one of my videos, and also make sure to hit that like button and see if we can get this video up to 10 likes. So first, we're going to be discussing about the upcoming severe weather over the next 5 days forecasted by the SPC out of Norman, Oklahoma. As you can see, we have a slight, marginal, and severe chance. That severe chance is a little bit too far out to start predicting, but over the next couple of days, we will be seeing some forecasts coming out for those days. So first, we're going to be talking about what's happening on Wednesday, March 10th, or tomorrow. You see, we do have a slight chance for severe weather over a pretty good area of central to northeastern Kansas and parts of Oklahoma, and we do have a marginal risk for the kind of broader area as well. Over the tornado outlook, we do have a less than 2% chance of tornadoes over the entire United States of America. And in that area, we do have a 5% chance of damaging winds, and we will be discussing those wind gusts here in a little bit as well. And then here on the hail, we do have a 15% chance of damaging hail in the slight risk area that we were looking at earlier, and a 5% chance over that marginal area as well. So first, we're going to look at the Supercell Composite, or where we could be seeing some supercell activity. And we can see right here in Oklahoma, we are expecting that system to kind of start firing off somewhere in here, and this is going to be a big part of where a lot of stuff could start to form. And we do have some stuff kind of up here towards the north near Kansas City and parts of other northern Iowa, and we could see some remnants of this from down here from Oklahoma stretching up into here in Kansas. So now let's look at some dew points. You can see we do have a little area of a possible dry line kind of starting to form right here along this kind of area. Right here we do have mid to upper 50s touching low to upper 30s, and you do see here's that colder air right along in here, or that drier, and then we do have that very moist air, very humid air over to the right of that dry line. So here's a couple hours later, we can see that dry line is pretty well. You can see it pretty well now. We have mid to low 30s and touching mid to upper 20s along that dry line, and that dry line is where we could definitely see some of that severe weather kind of start to fire off. So now we're going to be looking at our temperatures. You can see we do have some pretty warm temperatures expected for tomorrow in the mid to upper 70s for a big portion of Kansas, Oklahoma, as well as Texas, and then off near the Rockies, you do have that really kind of colder air, and that's what's going to be kind of fueling that possible dry line of that dry air, as we are expecting a pretty big snowstorm going to be happening up there here in the next couple of days. So here's that tornado parameter. As you can see right here, where we saw that supercell activity, we do kind of see an area of where a possible tornado could possibly drop. Now, I don't think there's going to be a major tornado, but if there is going to be one tomorrow, I think it's just going to be a very quick drop. It's not going to do much damage at all, and if it does, it's not going to be very strong damage at all, in my opinion. So now we're going to be looking at the wind gusts. We are expecting some pretty significant winds. Tomorrow we can see we have in this severe weather area, we have mid to upper 40s as well as mid to lower 30s in wind gusts. So that can definitely cause some damages to your house. So make sure you guys are just properly prepared for that. Make sure your cars are inside your garage. And if you hear anything, make sure just to stay inside and don't be going out during this system at all. So now here is my overall forecast. I am calling for a slight chance of severe weather, kind of agreeing with the Storm Prediction Center was calling, and then my marginal risk does kind of go out a little bit into, a little farther into Iowa and a little broader area into parts of Missouri, just because I think that wind is going to stretch out a little bit farther than what the SPC is calling for. Here's my damaging winds. So you can see a pretty big area of some damaging winds that are possible with this storm. I think the wind gusts could vary from mid to upper 20s up into the mid to upper 40s, as we were seeing earlier on that last slide. And then my tornado possibility, I think there's going to be a 2% chance of possible tornadoes, kind of where, kind of along the edge of that dry line that is starting to form. That could happen tomorrow, but again, I think nothing big is going to happen. I think it's just going to be a very small tornado if anything does fall, and it's going to cause very minimal damage if it does drop. And then here in my damaging hail, I am calling for a 15% chance. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an inch, maybe an inch and a half hail in diameter. That just wouldn't surprise us how much hail, we could be expecting in a 15% chance over the history. So now we're going to be kind of going into a brief overview of what could happen here in the next couple of days with this severe weather. Here's day 3. So this is going to be Thursday, March 11th. You can see we have a nice little marginal area. This could be upgraded to a slight tomorrow, as the weather models will update later tonight. And then here on the day 4, this is where we're not going to see much of any forecast, so just kind of a broad overview of what we could be expecting. We are expecting a 15% chance of slight severe weather, so we are expecting a possible slight chance kind of in parts of central Oklahoma as well as northern Texas. Here is Saturday, March 13th. It's going to kind of go farther down into central Texas. We could see, possible tornadoes down there as well. Wouldn't surprise me. That's where, severe weather really kind of starts to kick off during this time. And then as we move kind of further into Dixie Alley, we are in parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and then parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas as well. So now we're going to kind of step away from the severe weather for a minute and focus on this upcoming winter storm for the Rocky Mountains. So you can see we do have some snow really kind of starting to pick up right along in here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, some pretty torrential snowfall definitely in this general area right here. And we do have some rain or thunderstorms kind of to the east of this, as we do expect that with the snowstorm. We do, it wouldn't be surprised if there is a possible severe risk around this area, maybe just a marginal risk, but wouldn't surprise me if you do see some thunderstorms kind of along this area. So here's a couple hours later, we can see that snowfall really kind of starting to pick up right here. We are seeing some pretty torrential snowfall, as we are expecting of about 60 inches of snow with this entire storm. I'll show you guys those snowfall amounts here in a little bit, but as you can see, we are seeing some storms kind of starting to pick up in this warmer air, as we are seeing, that warm air coming up from the Gulf, probably feeding it up a little bit, and then wouldn't be surprised if we see a possible mixture of freezing rain or maybe some sleet kind of along this area and maybe parts of down here near Denver. And then here is another picture of what we could be seeing. So some pretty torrential snowfall again, kind of in this general area. A lot of the snowfall is going to be right in where that bright pink is. And then we can see another chance of some thunderstorms possibly down in here. We could see a possible squall line possibly right going through here, and then maybe going up through here. We don't know yet. That is for the 14th. And then on the last picture of the snowfall, you can kind of see that snowstorm kind of leave the Rocky Mountains and kind of head this way. And then we do see, so again, some more thunderstorms possible right through here. And then some possible snow/freezing rain, maybe some sleet up for Nebraska. And then now we're going to be getting into the snowfall amounts. You can see we are expecting about 13 inches at this time. So this is about the for March 12th on the 09 Zulu run. So we can see about a foot of snow already starting to come down here. And then on the next run at 15Z, we are seeing about 30 inches. So it's dropping some pretty significant snowfall right again in that area up in northern Colorado, and then parts kind of up to the north of that, we are seeing about 7 to maybe 11 inches of snow already being dropped in that area. And then the final thing we are seeing here is about 67 total inches of snow we are seeing for northern Colorado, and then parts of Nebraska. Iowa could see probably about 10 inches to possibly a foot of snow. So some pretty significant snowfall amounts for the upper plains and parts of Colorado. Well, that is going to do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy it. If you did, again, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.